Good morning, guys. I'm glad you could join us today. We're going to discuss a deployment and development that HTG did recently for Draeger Safety UK. On this interview today, I've got representatives from both Draeger Safety UK and IGEL. So, Richard, can I just start with you, please? Just introduce yourself.
Hi, good morning. I'm Richard Thomas, Senior Systems Engineer within the Production Department at Draeger Safety UK. I'm one of the primary developers of the testing solutions within operations.
That's great. Thank you, Richard. Simon?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on. Simon Townsend, I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for IGEL. Obviously work very closely with yourselves at HTG and pleased to be part of this call with Draeger Safety this morning.
That's brilliant. Thank you, guys. So basically, what we're here to chat about is HTG. As I mentioned in the introduction, we carried out some work with Draeger Safety UK, starting off earlier in the year. One of the main pieces of this work was actually supporting the development and deployment of a RDS platform utilizing some IGEL thin client technology. We kicked this work off pre-COVID pandemic, and we were looking forward to getting this deployed and managed in our usual format, let's say. But obviously things changed back in March, and we ended up doing quite a lot of this work remotely, which was actually to the benefits of all parties involved. But what I wanted to have a chat to you about was, Richard, key to yourself is really what the background and needs and objectives. So Richard, Draeger Safety UK, you guys are a manufacturer of crucial respirator equipment. And I know you are looking to modernise your production lines up in the Northumberland plant. Can you just give us a little bit of insight into the project, just going over maybe some of your business challenges that you had, some of the issues, and what your objectives were in regards to the solution that HTG were going to support you with?
Yeah, certainly. So as a world-class manufacturer of safety products, Draeger Safety embraces the popular lean manufacturing principles as a part of its continuous improvement methodology. We're continuously investing in our production facilities. And recently we identified an opportunity to unify the software-driven aspects of the manufacturing flow in a way that would bring a more consistent solution to the operators and supervisors and a more manageable system for engineering. So what we needed was a centralized hosting platform to support our software with a series of simple touchscreen interfaces for the end users.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that sounds really interesting. So I know when we were originally looking at this, the touchscreen interfaces, we were looking at various organisations, and obviously HTG is a partner with IGEL, and we did approach them in regards to the touchscreen interfaces and to see if they could support us. I know, Simon, we approached you, as I said earlier, pre-COVID-19, and then we went into lockdown, and there was all sorts of issues around getting this sort of kit. Can you just go over some of that in regards to the prioritizations of kit? I know a lot of government departments and the NHS bodies were sort of going front of the queue for a lot of hardware that was being procured by private sector manufacturers. You guys were able to ramp up and get this kit to us in a timely manner. How did that work with you guys? I know you were supplying kit across the UK and globally as well, but obviously this was a key customer to HTG. So can you just explain how you guys stepped up to the mark?
Yeah, I mean, obviously IGEL is a manufacturer of thin client terminals. The majority of those are manufactured actually up in Bremen in Germany. And so a lot of our parts, for instance, that come across from Asia had obviously already come over pre-COVID. So it does allow us to hold an amount of stock and continue our manufacturing process. And obviously the other part of IGEL is very much focused on the software element of our business, right? And I think Richard might talk about the management platform that we have, something we call the UMS shortly. But, you know, if hardware is required, luckily enough, we were able to deliver on it. And in some cases where hardware wasn't required, people were actually able to repurpose existing devices and put our operating system and our management platform alongside it. But I actually think, funnily enough, now that you bring it up, it's a problem that's still occurring today for a lot of organizations. I mean, we're 6 months in and I've still got customers that are telling me that they're struggling to get hardware. Particularly, I know, we're based in the UK, but over in the US, particularly in education and other types of verticals at the moment, they really are struggling to get delivery of laptops, PCs, and what I would say more traditional hardware solutions. So people are looking at technologies like what you deliver to overcome that.
Yeah, okay, great. Thanks for that answer. I'm going to quickly move on to another question we've got. So, Richard, engaging HTG to provide the solution. I know that we've already got a written user case from Draeger, and one of the sentences and one of the wordings that I liked in that was from conception to commissioning. And I know you engaged HTG after you've outlined the objectives to us and a few other things as well. Can you just explain a little bit more about that process, how you came about to approach HTG and how we did support you with this project?
Of course. Well, HTG actually came to us as a recommendation. So we approached HTG, and it was clear from the professional communication that HTG had the ability and the experience to be able to provide Draeger with the solution that met both our demanding timeline and budget. They worked with IT, myself in engineering, the guys down in manufacturing, to understand all the requirements of the project, and they presented us with a solution that we were all happy with. We were obviously also heading into this global pandemic and the lockdown situation, but HTG were able to continue working with us and offer remote-based development, and that ensured that this critical project continued uninterrupted.
Yeah. Richard,
that's great.
Sorry, can I step in for a second and ask you another question on that? Did you any of your requirements change then post-COVID as opposed to the project that had kicked off pre-COVID? Was there suddenly an increased urgency or some additional requirements around enabling a more rapid deployment?
Yes, we did find that the demands on production did change as a consequence of the pandemic, and that meant that the business strategy shifted slightly. And thankfully, HTG were able to quickly adapt to that. The flexibility proved invaluable in being able to continue to deliver this project on time.
Very good. Yeah.
Great. Thanks for those comments, Richard. It's obviously, I mean, we worked very closely with you guys early doors, and I think nobody expected what happened in March, and let's not dwell on that. But it was great that we were able to do this work remotely with you guys, and really it was light touch, hands-on work that we had to do, which was made simpler because the IGEL kit is really quite simplistic to deploy and actually get fixed onto the production line. So it was really beneficial to all parties, the fact that it was really quite simplistic to deploy it, but also that we could do this work remotely. So it's I think it was a trying time and testing time for us all, not from the project and the difficulty of the project to deliver, just the environment that we were all working in. I think we were all happy to accept that. So just moving on, so HTG, we did provide a proposal, and we were then tasked with designing and building and deploying, and then obviously hosting the solution to support you guys with your bespoke software application. Can you explain some of your thoughts on the hosting solution that HTG did provide you, and anything else that you would like to add around that solution that we give you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we knew that we needed a hosting solution that could support our latest software developments and present a simple touchscreen interface to the operators. Centralized and remotely administered, the proven Microsoft RDS Farm solution was exactly what we needed. And within engineering, we've standardized on the National Instruments LabVIEW software platform for our production and testing requirements. And HTG were able to work closely with us to ensure full compatibility between the solutions we were developing and their hosting platform solution. the IGEL thin clients that were recommended to us. These are small form factor devices, and they've proven ideal for supporting the RDS farm that hosts our application. It's highly customizable. The HTG, we're able to configure them such that the remote interface to the RDS farm, it's launched seamlessly, and it creates a totally hands-off solution for the operators.
That's great. That's great to hear. And it was. I know it's a lot of. There was a lot of bespoke code in your application, and I mean we did get that working within the RDS farm and also linking into the IGEL client, and that just proves really how easy it was to. Well, not how easy it was, just how much the technology that was selected to utilize was ideal for this solution. Also, I mean, just to go on from that, what were you finding as some of your key benefits after we had actually deployed this solution to you guys and got it up and running? You mentioned it's supported your line, it's sort of supported the engineers on the line. Is there any other key things there that you'd like to tease out, Richard?
Oh, plenty. It's still fairly new. It's still a fairly new system, but we've already been able to take advantage of the remote interfaces, the tools that allow us to monitor the performance, provide software updates without the inconvenience of managing each remote terminal individually. The system is robust and agile. It'll support production needs 24/7. The IGEL part of it, there's the UMS console that we alluded to earlier. This gives us a great single point solution for investigating any issues, conducting maintenance tasks. We can remotely view any operator's touchscreen, directly support them if they've got any issues they're facing, which is especially useful during these times of lockdown. Many of us are working from home. Also, we know we can expand the system with ease. You know, adding new IGEL thin clients is just a few steps to configure each new terminal. And the RDS farm, it's designed in a scalable way to accommodate as many thin clients as we want to manage.
Very good. Yeah,
that's great. I know you mentioned let's also make sure that we do discuss the software side of things of the IGEL with the UMS product, because it isn't just the terminal at the end of the day. And I think, Simon, that's probably the key thing, isn't it? It's not just a terminal that we've deployed, it's actually the software product that helps you to do this remote support also, which is key to the solution, as you've just mentioned there, Richard.
Yeah, it's been very interesting, actually, as we've worked with a large number of organisations, including yourselves, Richard. Interestingly, yours is almost the other way around. In many cases, what we've seen is that terminals that were being managed inside the office over the last 6 months have now gone home, and IGEL and the UMS has obviously helped IT organisations to manage those remote terminals, those remote laptops and PCs, whilst people have been working from home. Your example there sort of flips that around, which is the terminals are still, inside the organisation, inside the warehouse, the production plant, etc. But it's IT that might need to manage them, or members of the team that are supporting them that may well be outside. And so this whole concept of remote management, how do we continue to make sure that our Windows images are being kept up to date? How do we make sure that we protect ourselves against vulnerabilities and that we're patching Windows? That's all covered and all done so much easier because you've moved Windows into the data center onto the RDS platform. And then, as you said, you then benefit by using IGEL as a management platform to be able to remotely manage, configure, deploy, update these terminals significantly easier than if you had, say, a traditional Windows endpoint out there on the shop floor.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's right.
I think that's a fair comment, and it's interesting insight there. So I think I'm going to conclude with a final question for you, Richard, and I think you've probably touched upon this when we'll discuss the benefits as well. So what are your hopes for the next 6 months? I know you said there's a lot more that it can do, there's a lot more capability, but what are your key hopes for the next 6 months with this solution that you've got in place?
Well, there are many additional features to our software that we're working on today. And we know that we can deliver to everybody on the manufacturing floor with one simple update to the hosted application. The virtualization tech makes this possible. Our ambition is to continually advance the software with each identifiable opportunity. It's part of our continuous improvement strategy, and gradually expand the RDS farm to support more manufacturing flow lines and other aspects of the business.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds really good. And I'm glad that we've managed to put a solution in place that's going to be flexible enough and agile enough that can support you taking this forward to a much wider audience within your business. It's been a pleasure working with you guys. Simon, is there anything else you want to add?
No. Obviously, to the both of you, sounds like you've both worked together very closely during some very difficult times, and deployed technology that ultimately is making a real difference in a number of different ways.
Definitely, thank you for that. So, guys, I'm going to conclude there. I do appreciate your time and the effort, and I know everybody has busy days and working from home or actually having to get into the office, which I am today. But I do appreciate your time. Richard, thank you very much for answering those questions. I do appreciate it, as I said. Simon, thanks very much for attending. We've managed to put a great solution in place. Look forward to the relationship with both you guys going forward. I think we've got many other projects on the radar and horizon anyway. So thanks again, guys, for your time. I do appreciate it. All the best. Cheers.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you.